Whoa, hey everybody. I'm back again and I got a new mic. Got this mic and see which one's better. Guess I don't need that one right now. Um, okay. It's raining out here in Canada, raining really hard. And every time it rains, I get a little nervous. But anyway, topic of discussion today is family conflicts. Let's get into it. So, most people have family conflicts. I'm no different. But I think my family conflicts are, they were worse. They've been better, but they had definitely been worse. But it seems like a lot of people don't get along with their family. And it's something I wanted to talk about because I want to know what everybody kind of thinks about it and how people handle it. Now, when I was an alcoholic, drunk, there was reason for people to keep their distance because, surrounding yourself with a family member that's out of control and always in trouble I understand that. I wanted to distance myself away from myself, if that makes sense. But what happens if you no longer have those problems and there's still conflicts, but now they're on the other person? And the other people in your family, especially men and fathers that have a problem with pride and apologizing, that is a problem because I'm the person in my situation, I was the person to apologize. I was always the person to apologize. I was always the person to, make everything better, go through the whole situation with them. Listen, that's what I did. This is okay, all the time. And I had no problem doing that. But some people have a real problem doing that, especially if it's on the other foot. So in my situation, I haven't talked to my dad in going on 4 years. I didn't do anything to cause it. So what do you do in this situation? Are you in this situation? It's not a good place to be in, is it? It sucks. Well, if you've noticed, I keep saying my age because I just turned 46, so it's a little new. But yeah, in this situation, I am. It's really irritating. It's frustrating, and it's hard to deal with, and it's hard to think about sometimes. Like because there's no real path out of this one unless I do it or you do it. So you're in this situation where you think about life and you think about what can happen to people in life. An accident, an illness, something can happen that would cause somebody to prematurely leave this earth or just get unwell or something. And then now you have this burden that I didn't make amends and now they're gone or they're not well and they don't understand. You know what I mean, right? Dementia, who knows? So now you carry this guilt that not only are you dealing with this situation, but now you're also dealing with what happens if something happens to this person, a parent, your dad, your grandma, anybody, a friend, anybody, an uncle, an aunt. And now you're like, what am I supposed to do now? Like, am I supposed to just like say sorry and blame it on myself, even though I didn't do anything? And you really logically got to think about it. Did I cause this? Did I have any part in this? And I'll tell you a story. There was a certain individual in my life. It was a partner at the time, and didn't get along with their parents, right? And well, I wouldn't say not get along with their parents. The father, I didn't get along, and I freaked out. Okay, everybody has a different personality. They are many generations above ahead of us, and this and that, right? Like our house flooded. I flipped out. I was really upset about a lot of things. It was overwhelming. I freaked out because I kind of felt like I was kind of being bossed around in my own house a little bit. So I freaked out, like big time. Like everyone had to leave and fly back to wherever, it was like a big deal. And then I thought about it. Like I flipped out to the point where they left like a week early or almost a week early, and there was no coming back from it type of flip out. And both parties were wrong because both parties were acting in ways they shouldn't. And what I learned was I went on, I carried on this anger for a few years. And then I'm like, I had to fix it because I had to, I had to take blame on myself. Like, even if you're not getting along with somebody and you're in a difficult situation, like, kind of a disaster type of scenario, let's just say I don't want to get too involved in it because I don't. Maybe they'll watch this. I don't think that will help the situation. But anyway, the situation has been resolved, and it's resolved because I sent an email. You can do that. You can send a text. You can send an email. Say, listen, you know what? I flipped out. I'm sorry. I was totally out of line, and I didn't get into like, oh well, you did this and you did that. Just if you have ownership in it, just bury it. We only live once. So I buried it, and it made the relationship better with everybody involved, if you know what I mean. Right? Because if something like that happens, it affects everybody, the mother, the girlfriend, whoever's involved, right? The aunts, it makes this every time there's seen in a family event. If that ever happens, it's all awkward, which is also happening in my family. But so I buried it, and I initiated it, and I took ownership, and I buried it. But I did not do that for my own problem because I have taken ownership for when I quit drinking. I had to say sorry to a lot of people. I had to pay restitution. I had to, if I wreck things and cause people damage to their vehicle or something, like driving it and getting in an accident and all that kind of stuff, I had to do that. I had to financially compensate people when I got sober and I got to a place where I could do that, which I had to do. But now that, yeah, so other people have this situation. I have the situation when there's this other party involved that they have caused it. You thought about it for years and they've caused it, but they're not going to say sorry. And the only way it's going to get resolved is if you blame it on yourself. Well, guess what? I'm not doing that this time. I'm not doing it this time. So now, and this is not just me. I have a sibling that's also have the same problem with this person. So what do you do in this situation? Well, there's nothing you can do because unless you're going to blame it on yourself, and if you want to do that to end it, well, then go ahead. But I'm not doing it this time because I've already done that. And you get to a place where it doesn't fix the person and it doesn't teach them a lesson or anything. Not like I really want to teach them a lesson. I just want them to be like, hey, listen, hey, a couple of years ago, I kind of, I did this and this and this, and I was, I was stressed out in my life with my relationship, with this, with that, whatever, work, money, and I said some things, and I did some things I shouldn't have done. I'm sorry. That's what I would want. It's not going to happen though. So what am I supposed to do, right? Well, you don't do anything. You can't solve every problem, man. And unfortunately, if you really take ownership and you're like, if I didn't play a part in it, and you've really thought about it, and you're not being like, too soft on yourself, and you're kind of like being really critical, and you can't find anything that would, justify like, okay, just say sorry to end it. If that's not the case, then and it's not your deal, your fault, and don't do anything about it. Just leave it alone, and then hopefully they will turn around. That's what I'm hoping for, but I don't. It's not going to happen. Men have a real problem with this, especially older men, baby boom, whatever, like in their 60s, 70s. they're super stubborn when it comes to apologizing and saying they're wrong. I mean, I know a lot of women are like that too. Sorry, it's true. I'm not like that. Like I don't know. I've always kind of been like that. If I screw up, I say sorry. I do it all the time. But men, older men, fathers, whatever, they have a real problem doing that. And it silence could go on for decades when all it takes is like a 5 minute email saying that you're sorry, but they won't do it. So now I'm in that situation, and there's a lot of people in this situation that are just we're in this room now, and we're just going through life, and then all of a sudden you're sitting down one day, and then you see a commercial on TV about like, or maybe you're watching a movie when the whole family's together and the dad and the mom is there, and you start thinking about it, and it bothers you, right? It bothers me. But then you just what are you going to do? Can't do anything. You got to move on with your life, and don't carry hatred. If someone's wronged you, let yourself kind of get through it for a bit, not years, and then you got to learn to let it go. I've had some trauma in my life. I've had some things that I've caused, other people have caused. It doesn't really go away, but you just kind of learn. You just give yourself a little bit of time to, every once in a while, to kind of think about it, and then you got to just distract yourself. And I know my worst story is not everybody worse. So there's people that have way worse stories than mine, like really traumatic, getting beat, getting really bad stuff. And I feel so bad for people because I don't know if I could handle that. Nah, I don't know if I could handle that. I can barely, I'm pretty sensitive like that. Like I don't like conflict with family. Like I'd rather everybody get along. It's not that like I'd rather everybody get along and to a certain extent, but it's not like that in my family. Some of most of us get along pretty good, but there's a bunch that don't. And I would say a good half of the family don't even talk at all. All my cousins and stuff I used grew up with, and we were all hanging out. We're all buddies and best pal. They're gone. Is that the case with you? Comment below, because if you're Gen X like me and you grew up and you had family Christmases and everybody would get together and you'd have turkeys and parties and this, I think it's the fucking phone that's wrecked it all, because all of them are gone. Like my really close first cousins don't speak to. And again, the only way that we did speak is when I reached out. So I have to do everything. It seems like nobody's like contacting me. Like, oh, hey, how's it going? Like, oh, I haven't talked to you in like fucking 15 years. Nothing. And I don't get it. I don't get it. Like, it's on both sides of the family. Mother, father, same thing. They don't really see their dad too much. Da, 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 da. My mom doesn't see her dad. Like my dad doesn't like get along with his. It's like it's running rampant in our family. This Everybody's scattered out and no one communicates unless there's a funeral, which did happen. And I saw a lot of people. I have not seen some of them in decades. What is going on with that? That's not good. Like what is a family then? Like just because I'm in my 40s, like or 30s or whatever, nobody talks. That wasn't the case when I was younger. Something has dramatically changed, and that's with me. And I can see it. I've talked with my neighbor. I talked with other people. It's the same story. So that's why I wanted to do this video to see, is this the vast majority? You got to comment below, because that's the only way I'm going to figure this out, right? But my end note to this is, if you have conflict with your family and you look at yourself deeply, internally, everything, and try to find, do I have fault in this? And you got to be really honest about it. And if you do, just act on it. No matter if they have a part too, but if you have a significant part, just do it and end it. Life is too short. There could be a massive earthquake. There could be this. There could be that. One of us could get sick. They could get sick. Something could happen, and you got to live with that guilt for the rest of your life. And that's what I think about right now too. But I've said sorry too much to this person. I'm not doing it anymore. I'm not doing it. So you just have to wait and move on with your life and continue on. paying our stupid bills and buying high priced groceries and, continuing on with our fabulous lives. Yeah, I'm bitter about all that. Hey, I am going to do cooking episodes coming up. I'm going to be making pasta. I'm going to be making curry. I'm going to be making chili, and I'm going to be filming going to the store, buying all the stuff, chopping it up. I'm going to do it in my kitchen. I've got a new tripod. I got new mics. New mics. Mic check. Hope it's working. So subscribe to the channel because what I'm going to do is I'm going to film shopping, what I'm going to buy, the prices. I'm going to, take a picture of the receipt so you know how much I've spent, and then I'm going to make a meal and I'm going to discuss how many meals I can make with what I spent. Because like I said, I've been cooking since I was 10 years old, and they're probably going to be, 20-minute videos or something like that. But I'll start with pasta because that's a good one. Because people are spending way too much on food and grocery shopping and ordering in, and I'm going to show how easy it is to make something. So subscribe to the channel. Sorry if I'm repeating myself. Just whatever. It is what it is. Have a good day, and I will see you in the next video. See you later.